I'm Emma Vosti and this is See Opportunity, a business series proudly presented by the City of Stonington. A series where each week I sit down with some of the masterminds behind Australia's brightest brands. Welcome to See Opportunity, a business series proudly presented by the City of Stonington. My name is Emma Vosti. I hope that you have loved listening to these discussions as much as I have loved having them with some of the industry leaders all across the City of Stonington. And we continue, and we have some awesome guests lined up for you for season 2. So we all know the City of Stonington has some of the best food, I think, around the world. And Tommy Collins of Lulu White is testament to that with what you do, my friend.
Holy cow.
Thank you for joining me. I'm on brand right now. We're colour coordinating.
Well, that was a big run-in, so thank you so much for that. And yes, yourself and the palm tree is very much on brand with Lulu White. Thank you for that.
You know how to throw a party. So what does someone who knows how to entertain, throw a party, loves good food and good music, what do they do when they can't do that anymore?
Annoy my wife, basically. No, look, it's obviously been a massive transition, sort of working through, as everyone else has, what to do and how we can take our, I guess, experience at Lulu and our catering and everything and get it to people again. So it's been a big transformation.
So while everyone else is enjoying probably some time at home, you've probably worked harder than ever. But you do that because you love what you do and all your staff, I imagine, too. Can you give us a little bit of a snapshot? Obviously, restrictions are starting to ease and we've seen that come into play in the hospitality industry. But can you give us a snapshot in terms of what it's looked like for you behind the scenes as a business?
Yeah, so well, it's been massive. So with Tommy Collins, the catering, we were right in the middle of doing the Virgin Australian Melbourne Fashion Festival. And we were up to day 4, so we completed 3 days and it was huge, it was flying. And on the Friday, we got the call just before, and then the whole thing got shut down, and that was basically GP, and then the Fashion Fest was closed, so that was basically the catering wrapped up. There was a bit more of leeway with the cafes as we were sort of getting information, calling our accountants, calling our lawyers, what do we do? Are we allowed to open? Can we have this many people? So look, it was a lot of toing and froing and just hoping you were doing the right thing by people and also by your staff and your customers.
Is there a dialogue between a lot of the cafes in the City of Stonington area? Were you guys chatting to one another, getting insight into what everyone was thinking? Because it's a real community.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Em. It has brought people a lot together, especially in hospitality. I think it was, there was a lot of, banter about save hospitality, and I think it was more just the industry itself, like everything. Everyone was going through it. So, look, everyone's sort of banded together, especially around Stonington. It's a great little community there anyway. So we're all sort of just keeping each other, what we're up to, supporting if you needed a hand with this, and all that kind of stuff. So it was good that you had that support of the people around you.
Because Lulu White is only a couple of years old.
Yes.
Tell me about the inception of Lulu White and how it all came together, because you've got a long-standing history, obviously, in events and catering, and Lulu White was a new venture. It's got a real tongue twister. After a couple of drinks at the Boozy Milk Bar, that's going to be hard to say, Tommy.
Well, that's it. People don't think something is Zulu White with the thingo. So I think the more drinks you have, you can make up your own name. But look, we've been there for about 3 years. I had a restaurant there with my partners, South Central. Yep. So it's the bottom of one of Paul Little's projects, little projects, at the bottom of his building, Central. So we came up with the name South Central. And then it was an awesome restaurant. Restaurants are tough. We're catering people. We're cafe guys as well. I think I met you. Maybe was it Little Ox or Hawk and Hunter back in the day?
Yeah, it was somewhere.
In the cafe, one of the
always
cafes back in the day.
Always see you at all the cafes.
And we came up with this. I spotted the restaurant was amazing food, but they're tough. Restaurants are tough. Cafes people go to more day to day. You're more inclined to go to a cafe a couple of times a week, where a restaurant might be a special occasion or once every couple of weeks. So I remember I had an experience in New York in 2009, so ages ago. So sort of showing my age a bit, but I remember doing this bottomless brunch. I thought, this is really cool. And I didn't think anyone was really doing it in the area or in Melbourne at the time we started. So we sort of, the restaurant itself was very dark and monochrome and grey and black, and sorry designers, but it was a little bit boring. So
The cafe couldn't be more opposite.
yeah, so I said, look boys, let me, I actually stepped out of Tommy Collins for a year and said, look, I want to take this over as a project and I want to create this brand, Lulu White. So I worked with my team and everyone there, my partners, and basically went from grey to pink. And it was, luckily it was, I mean, there has been quite a few little pink places pop up on the market around, but I like to think that we were sort of ahead of that curve before quite a few did. And then obviously you got
Because you're secretly like an influencer.
I don't know if I'm an influencer, but
Shadows as an influencer.
we do like to try and keep ourselves ahead of the game and sort of, I guess, try and, without saying it, set trends as opposed to following.
Yeah.
So we came up with the pink walls, the palm trees. I couldn't afford a slim Aaron's on the wall, so I got something very similar. Beautiful sort of imagery cascading across the wall there, and it just sort of gives you that, I guess, more sort of Malibu, Beverly Hills
Tropical
sort of vibe.
escape. Yeah.
So people can come in there and hang out for a while and have some fun with my staff and not take life too seriously.
Now, you have become famous for these bottomless brunches. What does that entail, and how have you kept something that you are so well known for going and giving your customer that experience throughout the time that was COVID-19, and what will it look like now going forward?
Well, I don't know who you speak to could be famous or infamous, but it's it does, they get carried away there, but look, it's a lot of fun. I think with everything we do, the key thing is creating an experience.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to be the best, I don't want to be known for the best coffee in town or the best cocktails. I don't want bartenders whispering to vodka and people doing pour overs and this and that. I just want to have really good food and a really good experience. So I think what we created there was, you go in there, the music's always on point. It's a bit louder than normal. It's not the best place for a business meeting. Sorry, ladies and gents who are looking to do that. But basically it created this vibe where you turn up and you basically have some fun. You're drinking, obviously responsibly, as always. But when that got shut down, we're like, what do we do? Like, the bottomless brunch is what keeps us up and about. And then everyone started doing their take-home meals. But again, I thought, we've got to be able to do something different, where it can't just be, all right, you come and get our food, fantastic. How can I get that experience over to you and the customers at home? And came up with this really cool concept where we did a playlist together, which we thought, oh, well, everyone loves music, so we'll get a playlist. And I thought, well, I don't want anyone just to get the food. I want them to, people want time to interact at home with their friends and family, and everyone's, I think, turned on Zoom at the moment for some reason. But anyway, what can they do? So I've come up with these food kits that basically will almost finish for you. Then you get to have some fun at home, cook along. I did some instructional videos that you get text on the day, and then you have some fun at home with your friends and family.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's, and look, luckily it's propped us up. So it's done really well. It's been doing for 4 weeks. I think the first week I was hoping to sell 1 or 2. I think we did 28, and then we did 57 the next week, and then 60 the next week, and it just sort of, it kept going and going. So it's been
good.
So thank you everyone who's supporting.
And we've seen your mug popping up on Instagram TV, which a lot of businesses have been using social media to get their messages out there, and will continue to do so, I imagine, as more restrictions are eased. How have you found social media to be a great tool for your business?
Look, it's been a fantastic tool. I think being able to actually reach out to so many people while, like, we're sitting here, just to tell people what you're doing, and people have the option to tune out or unfollow or just not watch it. But I think being able to have that opportunity, if you don't use it correctly and if you're not using it, then it's quite a waste. I think it's been fantastic for us. We've been able to basically show exactly a how-to guide on how to follow the bottomless brunch, or what we're catering, or what we're doing next. And it puts the information out there for people to take it on if they want, or if they choose not to, not. But it's been a bit of a lifesaver, actually.
What have you learnt about yourself and your team during this time?
It's learned quite a bit, actually. Look, with Lulu, it's been, I mean, I sponsor a lot of staff there, so it's been a bit of a struggle with the 3 of my main players that don't get the JobKeeper. So we basically just opened so we could pay their wages. So I've had to work a bunch of extra hours to try and prop that business up at the moment. Luckily, catering Tommy Collins we're going through a transformation there, but there's not a lot of events, lots of planning, but not lots of physical work at the moment. So it's it's shown with JobKeeper and JobSeeker, it's given people the option, like, you know, you can either stay at home and get paid something, or you can go work and get something. It's good to see that all our staff have put the effort in to, I guess, support the business as we're trying to support them.
Yeah. You get to know the true, like we talk about culture, but there's a culture that we talk about and there's a culture that we act out. And have you seen the culture that you really hoped that you've had kind of come to fruition? Yeah,
we've been really lucky. I mean, like the culture has been a massive part of Tommy Collins and all the places we've ever done, and House of Lulu White. We've had really good staff retention. Our team basically are a part there, like ambassadors, advocates of our business. So we're very careful with who that we look after our staff, and we put in extra, make sure they're looked after, so they look after us. So it's been great. I mean, I have heard some stories of other people, which is unfortunate, but we've been very lucky, I think. Yeah.
What do you see now? The government's announced restrictions easing, as we saw on June the 1st, and so now you are inviting people back into Lulu White. What does that look like from a practicality standpoint? What extra things have you had to put in place, and what things maybe from the season that was COVID-19 stay home instruction, what will live on to be in the future?
Well, it's funny, like we will get through this, and I hope everyone else does out there. We sort of try to support everyone as well, but I think it's kind of cool. So we've almost, you know, I think we found that we don't have to be so wasteful in life, and instead of being a big business and doing more and more, it's making things smaller and more profitable. And you've worked out that, you know, the world can stop and the world will go on. And I think with Lulu White itself, being able to do now this take-home bottomless brunch, being able to offer the thing where you can stay at home if you want, or you can come and join us. So, I mean, we'll navigate through the new rules that come out, 20 people, biggest tables of 6. So if you've got a table of 20, we'll have to break you up.
Yeah.
Have 6 here, 6 there. And that's not my strong point, another 6 and a 2, whatever it is. Something like that. But, you know, I think
you'll preset all the tables, it'll be ready.
Yeah, and then, you know, we want to have people better walk in, have a coffee and avocado toast. And, but I think the thing is that we're all going, there's no playbook for this. So we're all going through it together. So I think you get the information, which the guys at Stonington have been fantastic with it. Steve, he's been amazing. I actually worked, luckily, with the Mayor, Steve, at Vamp, funnily enough. That was actually one of the things we did, was the ladies' lunch.
I was going to say, that was one of your big events that you partnered with the City of Stonington on. What do you miss most about events like that the City of Stonington put on?
Oh, look, that's working with Steve and the team there at Stonington's amazing. I've actually, funnily enough, I did the brunch there, it must have been about 8 years ago. It was with Vamp, but I wasn't catering the whole thing then. It was just wet my beak there. And then we got back to it again. And it's awesome. It's a beautiful hall there, and we did, this year was the ladies' longest line. It was partnered with International Women's Day.
Yeah.
And we put on a beautiful spread there. We outsourced local chickens and reached out to a couple of farms to deliver veg and produce, and it was a great event. Everyone had a ball and showcased a lot of the amazing, I think, feathers and Lisa Barron design, and a few others. Dita, another one, who's another.
Look at Tommy rattling up his fashion designers.
Yeah, so I mean that's what's sort of been about the brand. All our stuff, we like to have. It's like we like to think of ourselves across the board as a lifestyle brand. So food, fashion, and entertainment. So it's a fun industry to be in. So
good.
Yeah,
So
I guess the most thing, back to your initial question, would be just seeing more people. So that's why I got into it to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very gifted at that, bringing people together, and it all kind of always does centre around good food. Yeah,
good food, music. It's quite funny. I'm a Brisbane boy originally, and I think growing up, like for me, catering was Domino's or Pizza Hut, and a couple of cases of beer and probably plastic chairs, not leather.
Boy, have things changed for you.
Yeah, so I think I wore flared jeans. I mean, the pants have got tighter, and you know, the seats got nicer. But you know, it's been about. I mean, entertaining's cool. Everyone loves doing it. People are celebrating their best moments, and we're very lucky enough that at Lulu and Tommy Collins and the Hamptons, Bayside's not as good as Stonington, but you're there celebrating with people. So I'm very lucky to to do what I love. I know it sounds a bit cliched, but it is, so why not? Yeah.
What do you think sets your businesses apart, and what do you think will hold you in good stead moving forward?
Yeah, look, I think I guess touched on a little bit before. I think with all we do, we hope that we do like to keep ourselves, we like to call ourselves chameleons. So we like to call ourselves a catering chameleon, and we can adapt. And people use the word pivot quite a bit. I like to say adapt, or what's another word for it? Change into, because I think there's going to be different in the market now. So I like to think that we like to keep ourselves quite current. Whereas if Lulu White wasn't working, I think I should be able to turn that, and my business partner be able to turn it into something else that works. And I think it's people are amazing, and people like to see new things. And I think I'm very lucky between having the catering and the cafes is they can play off each other a bit. So you can change your menus, you can change your decor, you can change your music, you can change your uniforms, you can really sort of keep it so you're still getting that great experience, but it's a little bit different every time you come in.
Okay, so I have a question on that.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to clarify, because a lot of the time people will see, and it happens all the time in the hospitality industry, it's like, okay, how do I explain it? At home, when you need to freshen up, you change like the cushions on your couch, and that's like a nice change.
Yeah.
But I think what I'd love is, why does that happen in cafes? Because some people might see that and perceive that to be, oh, that cafe wasn't doing well, so it changed. But in the hospitality industry, it's not actually the case. Is it often that you guys just need a shake up and change of scenery, or what's behind often those?
There's a lot of different thoughts to this. Like, some people are like, why, if it's not broke, why change it? If the why change a good thing? I'm of a feeling that it's people change.
Yeah.
It's people change, relationships change. You're a different person now than you are in 5 years. So why shouldn't a cafe adapt with that? And personally, and I don't tell anyone how to do their business, or everyone each their own, but I think it's good to change and evolve, and to give a change is as good as a holiday. Yeah. So you put a nice fresh paint in, you change something there, change something there. You still keep your core brand going, but to have that I guess lifted a bit of change there, it can it's like a new beginning sort of thing. So good.
Best business advice that you've ever been given?
Best business advice. Look, I think I worked for a gent years ago when I was sort of starting out in Melbourne, and he talked about, with cafes, is creating a third place. Basically, you've got your home, you've got your work, and then you've got your cafe. And I think, actually, another one from him, he was quite an amazing barista back in the day, and Danny Coles, if you're out there, how you doing? He had a couple of cafes, and also his recognition of customers. There's nothing worse than walking into a cafe that's busy and buzzy, and you sort of stand there and you're not welcomed straight away, that big hello. Like, if you walk into a cafe, and I tell all my staff, if I want a person to get 10 hellos when they walk, I want to be sick of being said hello to. Because there's nothing worse than walking into a place, and especially if it's a popular place, and then you get on the back foot straight away, where you're like, oh, these guys are a bit full of themselves, or they're not, and we welcome everyone, it's a certain vibe we put out there, but I want everyone to feel welcome. So I think recognition and creating that third place.
And it's going to be a great show of faith, and it already has been a great show of faith from your customers that want to return to. I know everyone's just hanging out to say hello to their local cafe, but if they're not comfortable coming in, there's still the takeaway option. Are you guys still kind of doing both in line? Yeah,
I think this is one of the, positives. I like to think I'm a glass half full kind of guy. We've ended up with another business on our hands, a takeaway business. So if you are at home and you've got your own, you can create your own ambience there with our take-home playlist and cocktails and videos of me making everything. It's and then we've got the dine-in, So I think it's hopefully after we get through all this and then the new things roll out, we'll end up with another business. Yeah. So we've got limited numbers, 20 people, no groups more than 6. Correct, that can come in. Yeah. And you guys are separating all the tables and you're doing all those things. And we want to give everyone peace of mind, because I think that's, like you said, most important. We're
really pumped for our economy that businesses can get back to normal.
Correct.
But it can't come at the cost of our health and safety.
Not at all. So I guess, you can still have your groups of 20, but we will separate you, or
Yeah.
just to make it easy, 12.
Yeah.
So two groups of 6 with a 1.5 metre, even a little bit more space in between.
Yeah.
When you book with us, you get that email saying this is what we have, we're following the guidelines.
Yeah.
Until this changes, this is the way it will roll out. So
Awesome.
yeah, the new normal, I think they call it.
What's your coffee order at Lulu White?
My own personal one?
Yeah.
Well, I'll give another plug. I've got a brand called Almond Milk Co. which is almond milk brand. I actually do drink almond milk, so I've had that for about 6 years. So I have a strong almond latte.
Yum.
Yeah. So it's
Followed by a bottomless brunch.
followed by a bottomless brunch. A couple of espresso martinis and we're away.
I love it. I know you guys might be similar. I cannot wait to go to my local cafe and get a big hello from all the team, and I can't wait to see you guys back in there. It's awesome that we can return to our favourite cafes. Obviously, we're doing so responsibly, but I want to thank you and your team, and I know that you're taking the best care of your team and your customers. So thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for having me.
See you at Lulu White soon for a bottomless brunch. If you don't feel safe going to the cafe, that's okay. Make sure you get it from home. And if you want more information, head to stonington.vic.gov.au/business and make sure you're watching next week because we're getting our hair did. Boda
Check your nails.
babes are here. We'll see you then.